So please welcome our next speaker, Danylo Poliakov. He's a customer support manager from the SUITSME. And today he will tell us how the customer support can boost your game performance.
Yep, thank you. So let's start. Hello everyone. Today I would like to share some thoughts about customer support in the mobile gaming industry, and I hope it will be helpful both for people who are just starting their career as a customer support manager and for game product owners who are still deciding whether to hire such specialists or not. But before that, I will briefly introduce myself. My name is Danylo Poliakov, and I am customer support manager at SUITSME. As far back as this time last year, I was working as a liquid rocket engine design engineer at the state enterprise. And then I assumed a newly opened position and currently work at SUITSME as a single support manager. Although in the game community, players believe that there is an entire customer support at SUITSME. So what is SUITSME? SUITSME is an interactive platform for fashion lovers. In our game, you can play with clothes and accessories from famous fashion brands while styling your avatar for various occasions and life situations. SUITSME is an ideal place to release personal fashion fantasies and become part of like-minded creative community. Main metrics and information of our game: more than 2 million lifetime installs, 50,000 players during playing SUITSME on daily basis, and SUITSME went global in November 2021. As to agenda, today we will consider the following topics: what time is the best to hire a customer support manager, first steps at the new project as a support manager, personal workflow structuring, and next steps and space for improvement. So let's begin from the first issue, when a customer support manager is required. The following picture is obtained while restoring the chronology of the SUITSME starting from the soft launch. SUITSME was released in 2 regions in March 2021, and within the first month there were 17K installs, 2-3 emails per week, and communication with players was fully on the copywriter side. Until October, there were simple questions from the players about how to do this, how to do that inside the game. No technical assistance or investigations were needed. In October this year, month before the global SUITSME release, there were 107K monthly installs, around 20 emails per week, and the responsibility for support began to be divided between copywriter and QA specialists. At first, this cooperation between copywriter and QA was sufficient and effective, while it was a small amount of incoming emails. But with the global release and increasing amount of support emails, the productivity of this approach started to decline. Since incoming emails were reviewed by a copywriter, and if the email required any technical adjustment, investigation, or fix, this email was transferred to the QA team. After, QA representative and copywriter formulated the final answer to the player. Therefore, it started to take too much time, and this approach started to be highly ineffective. In February 2022, there were 200 monthly installs, around 100 emails per week, and this month I've been hired to the project. With my first working month, all responsibilities in terms of customer support and communication with the players were taken by me. With the new year coming, SUITSME started to scale even more, and it was quite important to let the QA team focus entirely on testing the game and not be distracted for several hours to answer support emails. Therefore, the best time to start searching for a support manager will be a time before you are planning to scale, expand even more, to make sure that you'll be prepared not only for the increased number of players, but for an increased amount of support emails. Lastly, in my with scaling, we had 500K monthly installs, and now we have from 40 plus support emails per day, and this value is constantly increasing. So from the first steps in the project, of course, the support manager should be familiarized with app architecture and game mechanics, deeply understand database structure and all key in-game events. In my case, that was PostgreSQL with tables where we are storing all our data. Amplitude, with this service, we are keeping records from each player's events in the app, clothing purchase, participation in fashion challenges, changes in the in-game balance, etc. And Google BigQuery help us with investigation and analysis of previously mentioned events from Amplitude, because there is a limit for amount of events in Amplitude, with out of monthly limit on the second or third day of the month. And Google services such as Google Storage for saving events and already mentioned Google BigQuery helps us to deal with this issue. And finally, it is Jira for task management and Confluence for every sort of documentation. It is obvious to say that every new team member shall be aware of the importance of communication build-up within the team, but it is crucial for effective customer support. In my case, I have tight communication with all the members presented on the slide. Communication with dev QA teams will help you to understand how a new feature option is working from the inside. What are the potential issues caused by the upcoming features, and at the what fixing stage are the current bugs from the production. Tight communication with analytics members will enable you to get access to new in-game events, over information and trends based on the player's activity, and most importantly, double-check your particular investigation conclusion in different ways by assessing different tables and data. As to the content SMM team, it should be aware of the new in-game items, collections, changes in link categories, or reworking of the existing items, and to make sure you're all in the same and right way with informing, explaining features to our players. Communication with game designer will be very helpful due to the fact that you'll be aware of any even smallest changes in the game economy, prices for items, increasing and decreasing rewards, amount of in-game currency in different special offers or sales. And the last, but not the least, is communication with the product manager, which facilitates better understanding of future plans, features in upcoming releases. From my side, it is advantageous to share news since I am in tight communication with the in-game community, share my thoughts about the importance of one or another upcoming feature, and provide statistics, feedback about the current state of play. It will contribute to better understanding of the entire picture of the game to the product manager. Once you're all set and ready for reproductive work, I would like to share some insights and how I've personally organized my workflow within the project. Each of the key points I've categorized, and you can see them on the slide. So first of all, I can't imagine my work without multiple filters and different categories for incoming support emails. In case your app is available for download on different platforms, categorize them on list basis. Secondly, add multiple filters for payments and account issues. In the course of time, you will understand better which filters are necessary, which will be created temporarily, which can be updated, removed, and so on. Another huge time saver and very handy decision is creating answer templates for every channel of communication. In SUITSME, we respond in the same language in which the request was received from the player. Therefore, I've created templates and patterns for every language in which we are most often contacted, even for languages for which our game is not localized. Even though no one in our team speaks or even understands the Arabic language, this does not prevent us from finding a common language with the players from this region. Reports, reviews are a very significant part for customer support. With the accountability for incoming emails and requests from players, you'll start to understand your game community more clearly, find out difficulties and issues with the product that no one has thought about before. Collecting and wide structuring of this information will have an extremely positive and profitable effect on both the further improvement and reputation of the entire game. I personally prefer comparing monthly indicators and key points for the main issues and or questions. As an example, you can see the monthly difference of the payment issues in our game on the left side of the screen. On the right side, there are overall stats for reviews on Google Play for 1 month. Another big comparison screen for the part of incoming support emails for a month. Of course, you should have notes for each type of issue to describe the main factors, complaints to other team members. Or here is one of the common things in order to be a successful customer support manager. I will get back on this point a little bit later, but for now, you can see these types of emails from players. I had to remove bad words for obvious reasons, and without them, as you can see, sometimes half of the support email message is missed in most cases, which causes some difficulties in understanding what the player's problem is and how to help solve their issue. As to personal experience, I would like to share some improvements in the game which were acquired during my work. As you can see, initially every email from a player in SUITSME was accompanied with the issue description at the bottom of the email and additional account information at the top. The most crucial is the player's unique number, which is used for players' identification and further investigation. Initially, it seemed very convenient until we ran into situations of some sort of creative players. Previously specified fields could be edited by players, and as you can see, one of the multiple examples where players started editing this information, adding symbols, emojis, changing their unique player number, or even removing it. The step up of such users' number results in respective increase for email's number. Therefore, such individual request processing becomes extremely time-consuming. In the final version, we settled on the following very convenient option. Two attachments are automatically added to the player's email. The first attachment contains technical information about player's account that can be changed or edited. And the second attachment is a log file with the player's actions in the SUITSME, starting from the latest game session. As a consequence, correct arranging of player's information gathering is very crucial, as it enables time saving for each case investigation. I've already mentioned the importance of filtering and categorizing, but with that, I would like to address the following question. What are the emails requests to start your working day with? Firstly, you should reply and solve the issues related to the payments in your game. It is a sensitive topic for players, and you have to admit that no one likes to pay for something and not to get it instantly. Moreover, in such cases, I suggest you to add an additional in-game currency or any in-game bonuses for such inconvenience. This simple action helps to keep the loyalty of the player. Secondly, there are issues related to the accounts. The faster you resolve such an issue, the more unlikely the player will lose interest in your game, and the sooner he will return online again. And thirdly, there are issues related directly to the game and gameplay, which are the most time-consuming in terms of investigation and searching for the root cause of the issue. Each player has an individual background, and some steps, even the most elementary from your standpoint, can't be done without your help. Don't hesitate to provide more additional information or assist with additional stuff, such as for an instance. An aged player, among the things of her issue, didn't know how to take a screenshot on her device, and explaining how to do it enabled, firstly, successful settlement of the current issue, delivering new acquirement skill to her, and interestingly, the player came on to attach screenshots to all her further emails, which facilitated investigations sufficiently and clarified the issue overall. It's kind of a win-win situation for the player and support manager. Treat each player with respect and sincerely show your desire to understand and solve problems encountered. You can forgive the player's specific message, and that's totally okay when you have hundreds emails per week, but what matters to the players is how you approach their problems. And after all, it's nice to read comments and words of gratitude addressed directly to customer support, which actually creates additional advertising for your game in social networks and makes it stand out from other competitors on the market. When you're not receiving a 5-star review in the source, it is also a great opportunity to help players with some issues or questions. Due to the symbols limitation on the text field for the review answer, I usually redirect reviewers to support email and investigate or solve the issue there. In most cases, they will update the review for a better one. Therefore, your app rating will grow up and it will only bring multiple benefits to your game. As a proof of my words, you can see how this approach helped us with rating increasing during several months. Another point I would like to draw your attention is to the determination of the contact support button location inside the game. In my case, initially, you could contact support in the game settings. After, we've decided to add this button to the game loading screen to make it more visible. Also, there was a period when some users faced problems related to the game loading, and we've added this button to the one more screen to get logs from players and identify root cause of the issue. But something went wrong due to implementation of the third screen. 3 contact support buttons resulted in 16,000 emails in 2 weeks. Words cannot express my feelings when more than 1,000 emails arrived every day. A brief conclusion: do not overdo it with quantity and location of the contact support button in the game, and previously discuss what the consequences might be. Getting back to the angry players. Every time it is a challenging situation, but you should always keep in mind that the players are angry with the game or game situation, or even some situation in real life, not directly with you. So don't take it personally. Let the players express their frustration and cool down. Then address them with respect, patience, and empathy to find a solution. Moreover, even toxic players can help you find out an issue you are not aware of, or with their explanation, find a critical bug and prevent it from happening again for multiple players in the shortest period of time. Dealing with angry players is difficult, but it's not impossible. Capability to do it expertly is some kind of an art, can be obtained only by gaining experience. And as you can see, all your work, patience, and overall understanding of the situation and issue will really pay off. And in order to be a good customer support for a successful growing product or game, especially in the gaming industry, you should always stay tuned for the latest news, new trends, and working practices. For example, some interesting information from the latest HubSpot annual report. It's one of the biggest developers for customer support services. 63% of companies are spending more time prioritizing the customer experience this year. And 64% of business owners say that customer service had a positive impact on their growth. So what's next? SUITSME grows actively, and we are planning to scale even further to become the best fashion game on the market. In the near future, we are planning to implement some automation, add help chatbot in order to answer some basic and frequently asked questions that do not require investigation from the customer support manager. And we are looking forward to using Zoho Desk or any alternative to it in order to manage and split tasks, since we are looking forward to new members joining our friendly support team. Thank you for your attention. All questions are welcome.
Thank you for your talk. So, if I understood correctly, you're not only kind of customer support manager, but also kind of a community manager as well, because you also talk to people in your store reviews and so on. Is it correct?
Yeah, thank you very for question. Yes, I used to be for several months as a community manager, as both for support, but with time I managed to implement most support cases. But also, yes, I'm sometimes communicate with players for better understanding or some interesting cases.
Okay, and main channels, main your channels are emails and actually store reviews, or do you have any
Yes,
other channels?
we have some. We have Facebook page, we have page on Instagram, TikTok, and overall. I'm not communicating directly there, but if there are any questions from players there, then I take this case and investigate, and after all, I contact on this platform to a player.
Okay, you mentioned that you have, I guess, 8 languages in your game, and you should answer to the questions with the language that it was asked. So how do you do that?
Actually, we have different translators. Every my response, I firstly translate on English, and after that, with different translators, I comparing the best version to make it more clarified to the player. For example, there is an issue, I write a reply on English, then I translate different on different translators, and after that, I submitted the final answer to the player.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You also mentioned about that you must be like a stress-resistant person. Maybe you can tell us some case from your work that requires from you the most stress-resistant.
Actually, when you have hundreds of emails per day, and sometimes players are angry with any situation inside the game, or as I have mentioned, any issues. Overall, you have to stay calm, you have to respond them correctly, and to be honest, yes, resistance is a must. since it's reputation of your game, and you must stay calm and respond with some kind of gratitude for players for taking their time. And actually, as a more technical person, I provide a more technical solution and solve the issue. So after that, as you can see on the slide, most players say, sorry for being angry, sorry for such a negative first message, thank you for solving it, thank you and goodbye. So my main advice is to stay focused not on emotions, but on the issue and solve it correctly.
Mm-hmm. I understand. That sounds awesome. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have for now. So thank you very much for your talk, and have a nice day. And I see that you enjoy your work, so I wish you to keep enjoying it.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.